Good morning, I'm Kara Rucker in for Craig Negrelli. It's Thursday, December 19th, and these are your unbiased updates. As we enter the final days of the holiday shopping season, Amazon workers across the country are headed to the picket lines. What both sides are saying about the strike impacting the online retailer. And the CDC announces the first severe case of bird flu in a human in the United States. What you need to know about the case in Louisiana and the growing concern in California.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world, these are today's unbiased updates.
This morning, as shoppers have less than a week now to cross off their holiday list, Amazon workers across the country are headed to the picket lines. Thousands of Amazon employees are striking after the International Brotherhood of Teamsters says the company ignored its December 15th deadline for contract negotiations. The Teamsters represent nearly 10,000 workers at 10 Amazon facilities, about 1% of the company's hourly workforce. A facility in New York City's Staten Island became Amazon's first ever unionized warehouse in 2022. But since then, workers there have said the company has refused to recognize the union and negotiate a contract. In his statement on X, Teamsters president Sean O'Brien said, quote, "If your package is delayed during the holidays, you can blame Amazon's insatiable greed. We gave Amazon a clear deadline to come to the table and do right by our members. They ignored it." Amazon, however, says that's not true, and in a statement of its own said the truth is that the Teamsters have actively threatened, intimidated, and attempted to coerce Amazon employees and third-party drivers to join them, which is illegal. The Seattle-based online retailer has been seeking to redo the election that led to the union victory in Staten Island and has filed a lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of the National Labor Relations Board as a whole. Despite the Teamsters calling this strike the largest in Amazon's history, the company says it does not expect the strike to impact its operations. Now to the conflict in the Middle East. The Israeli military carried out a series of airstrikes in Yemen early Thursday, killing at least 9 people. The strikes happened right after Israel says it intercepted a Houthi missile targeted at the central part of the country. The IDF says that was a coincidence and that today's strikes targeting the Iran-backed militant group's infrastructure had been in the works for months.
Over the last 14 months, the Iran-backed Houthi terror regime in Yemen has launched hundreds of missile and UAV attacks against the state of Israel. In the last 2 weeks only, the Houthis fired a drone that hit an apartment block in southern Israel, and on Sunday they fired a long-range missile towards central Israel. The Houthis have been carrying out attacks against Israel in violation of international law. Israel will not hesitate to act in order to defend itself and its citizens from the Houthis' attacks.
The strikes risk escalating the ongoing conflict with the Houthis, whose attacks on the Red Sea corridor have drastically impacted global shipping. The Houthis have been launching those attacks since Hamas, another group backed by Iran, attacked Israel on October 7th last year, starting an ongoing war in Gaza. It's back to the drawing board for congressional leaders, as it appears the Stopgap spending bill to avert a government shutdown this weekend is in jeopardy. The 1,500-page measure would have extended government funding through mid-March, as a shutdown looms if no action is taken by Congress by a Friday night deadline. The bill included aid for farmers and disaster victims and a pay raise for members of Congress, among many other items. On Wednesday, President-elect Donald Trump and tech billionaire Elon Musk both rejected the bill. Musk, who is leading Trump's Department of Government Efficiency come January, posted about the bill on X more than 100 times throughout the day, including issuing a warning that any member of the House or Senate who votes for the bill, quote, deserves to be voted out in 2 years. And Trump echoed the sentiment of Republicans voting for the bill need to be primaried, releasing a joint statement along with Vice President-elect Governor-elect J.D. Vance that Congress should pass a streamlined spending bill. Trump also posting on Truth Social, the bill should be paired with a measure suspending the debt limit. It is not clear what steps Speaker Johnson will take now. The Speaker held a late-night meeting with lawmakers in his office. After the meeting, House Majority Leader Steve Scalise told reporters, hopefully today the House can get this resolved, and confirmed the original stopgap bill is now dead. We now know the identities of the teacher and student killed during a shooting inside a Madison, Wisconsin school earlier this week. The medical examiner released their names late Wednesday evening, a day after a vigil was held for the victims. They are identified as 42-year-old Aaron M. West and 14-year-old Ruby P. Vergara. The medical examiner says both were pronounced dead at the scene. Police say the suspected shooter, 15-year-old Natalie Samantha Rupnow, opened fire in a classroom at Abundant Life Christian School on Monday morning, killing 2 and injuring 6 others. Police say she then turned the weapon on herself. 2 students remain hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. 4 others, identified as 3 students and a teacher, have been released from the hospital. As the investigation continues, authorities say they recovered 2 guns at the school, with only one being used during the shooting. They say a motive appears to be a combination of factors. The CDC has confirmed the first severe human case of bird flu in the United States. A patient in Louisiana has been hospitalized in critical condition with severe respiratory symptoms, according to state health officials. They say the patient is over the age of 65 with underlying medical conditions. The CDC says the person has a version of the virus recently found to be spreading in wild birds and poultry in the U.S., as well as found in some human cases in Canada and Washington state. It's different from the specific version of the virus that's been spreading in dairy cows across the U.S. Also on Wednesday, California Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency over bird flu since the state has the highest number of infected cattle in the U.S. 61 human cases of bird flu have been reported in the U.S. since April, 33 of them in California. You can find more details on the situation in California right now on our website, san.com. Finally this morning, George Stephanopoulos has signed a new deal with ABC News, securing his position as anchor of Good Morning America. The Los Angeles Times was first to report on the new contract. While details over his offer are unknown, he's previously been one of the highest paid faces in television, earning $18 million a year. The agreement comes amid speculation about his future with the network after Disney paid $15 million in a legal settlement over comments Stephanopoulos made about Trump during an interview in 2024. The libel lawsuit revolved around the anchor saying Trump was found liable for rape in the case with writer E. Jean Carroll, when the jury in the civil case had actually found Trump liable for sexual abuse. Reports suggest Stephanopoulos was blindsided by ABC's settlement. His new contract with ABC also comes as parent company Disney is said to be looking to trim costs, which follows a trend right now among media giants scaling back amid a shift in the industry. These are your unbiased updates for this Thursday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.